What is up, people? Shoquafina here with my Week 1 team builder for Season 1 of the GPL. We will be going up against Glasswings and the Chelseel, and he has a very threatening team. Lots of power. He's got Landorus Eye, which was first overall in the draft. He picked first overall. He got Landorus Eye. He has Rotom Wash, Shaman, Skuntank for defog support. Also to suck up any toxic spikes I might want to lay down. He's got Piloswine, Electrode, Mega Absol, Arcanine, Metagross, Togetic, and Feraligatr. So a lot of big threatening mons. I can see a lot of these things coming. A couple that I don't expect to come. But I can definitely see him bring the Landorus. I think Rotom's definitely coming. I think Mega Absol is definitely coming. I can see the Metagross, the Arcanine I can see coming as well. But anything else, it could really be anything. I might see him bring the Shaman, just because Shaman's usually pretty good, but I have decent responses for Shaman. A lot of my team can beat up on a Shaman pretty well, like Crobat and Scolipede, things like that. So he's a lot of big threats. The Landorus Eye, if that thing sets up on me, is pretty much over. Same goes with the Absol. So I'm really worried about them. I'm really hoping I can manage to pull out a win here in Week 1 with the team that I've built. Now, if you notice, I have a very weird looking Mega Altaria. Now, this thing, as you can see, is very SpedF. Very bulky on the SpedF side. Maxed it out, gave it a Calm Nature. We're running Hyper Voice, Toxic, Cotton Guard, and Roost. My whole thought behind this is I don't have a lot of really bulky mons that want to handle a lot of the threats on his team. So I made Mega Altaria kind of like a bulky, just wall, I suppose. The whole plan is here to get out a Cotton Guard, go +2 on the, or +3, excuse me, on the defense. This just becomes monstrous, and then I can roost up in anything's face and wear it down with a Toxic if I need to. This is more of a Stally type Altaria. I didn't really expect to bring this. I toyed around with a lot of different ideas, but I decided that this probably isn't going to be the most useful Pokemon on my team this week anyway, because he has a lot of good responses for it. So I'm going to bring the Altaria. I'm going to bring it as a defensive set, soak up a few hits if I need to, and, you know, just Toxic a few things if possible. So I'm not really expecting anything too crazy from the offensive side this week from Mega Altaria. I have other things, as you can see here, that are going to be fairly big threats to my opponent's team if I manage to play them correctly. Up next, we're bringing Scolipede. Scolipede is one of the fastest mons on my team. As you can see, Crobat here is the only one that is faster. But Scolipede, Life Orb, I don't know. I'm still kind of toying with the idea of whether I should go Life Orb or Focus Sash. I'm not bringing SD. My whole idea is this thing's going to be sent in late game and clean up. My only concern is, what if he's going sweep mode with Mega Absol or Landorus Eye? That's really my only concern, because the priority on Mega Absol is crazy. It can OHKO me with a +2 Sucker Punch, absolutely. And Landorus Eye can OHKO me with pretty much whatever it wants, because it gets so many super effective moves. But I'm relying on this thing's speed and hard-hitting ability here to really clean out my opponent's team, hopefully. Maybe just use it as a wall breaker at the beginning. It really just kind of depends on what he wants to bring. But yeah, we're going to Protect to get the speed boost here. We're going Mega Horn for stab. Aqua Tail is there for the Landorus as well as the Arcanine. And we have Poison Jab here just for overall stab as well. Also for the Togetic if he chooses to bring that. Up next we have Crobat. We're bringing Choice Band Infiltrator. Just enough speed to outspeed Mega Absol. Obviously Sucker Punch won't really matter there, but just enough speed to outspeed Mega Absol. Choice Band, Max Attack, Brave Bird. It's going to be hitting a lot of different Pokemon. U-turn here, Cross Poison, Super Fang. Super Fang is there for either the Metagross or the Arcanine after it Intimidate, because I won't be able to really do a whole lot to an Arcanine after it intimidates me if it's fully defensive. Same thing with a Metagross. If he decides to bring like a defensive Stealth Rock Metagross, I'm not going to be able to do anything to it with Pinky. So my choices are U-turn or Super Fang. So Super Fang's just there for coverage, really. If I need to, not really coverage, but if I need to break down a wall that seems to be a threat to me. But yeah, this thing's going to outspeed the Absol, and if he doesn't go for Sucker Punch, which I have a chance to live with +2 Sucker Punch with Pinky. It's a roll. It is a roll, but I have a slight chance of living a +2 Sucker Punch. My whole hope is that he doesn't set up the Swords Dance on me, and I can Brave Bird and Oko. Up next is actually my response to Landorus I, and my dedicated lead, Top Keck, the Kecleon. He is Life Orb. Fake Out, Shadow Sneak, Stealth Rock, Sucker Punch. I don't know if I'm going to be using Stealth Rock because he has the Mega Absol with the Magic Bounce, but my whole plan here is to lead this and hope that he leads Landorus. Because if he leads Landorus and we lead Kecleon, we win. We win that. Fake Out does about 25% because of Life Orb. Shadow Sneak next turn does about 25% as well, and the only move that he can really Oko me with after I Fake Out would be like a Hammer Arm or some kind of fighting type move, and obviously Shadow Sneak makes it so those moves are not effective whatsoever, because moves like Sludge Wave and Earth Power, they 2-hit KO Kecleon, they don't kill him. Then I have the Sucker Punch there, which does about 50%, maybe more. So Fake Out plus Shadow Sneak plus Sucker Punch 100% of the time will KO Landorus. I will be taking 1, maybe 2 hits, depending on what he wants to do. So my whole hope is I go Fake Out, get to 25%, then I Shadow Sneak, do another 25%. He goes for the Fighting type move, doesn't work since I'm a Ghost type, and then he goes for the Switch, and on the Switch turn I can go for Stealth Rock. That's the hope. That's the hope, at least. And even if not, then he'll be going for like an Earth Power, which will still not Oko me. I'll still have some life left in me. So Stealth Rock will get the rocks up, and then I can Sucker Punch the following turn and knock him out. So this is actually a very good Landorus check, as long as I don't have to switch into one of its moves. Kecleon actually puts in some work. Like I said, he's going to be my lead. I hope that he leads Landorus just so I can get him out of there. I don't want to deal with Landorus. I want it out of my life forever. Of course, we're running Protein ability because color change is kind of junk. Well, unless you're running defensive. I don't know why you're running defensive Kecleon though, but whatever. Then we're bringing H2 Olga, our Vaporeon, Water Absorb leftovers, Scald, Wish, Heal Bell, and Roar is there for anything that wants to set up on me. He has the Mega Absol, which can Swords Dance and set up. He has the Feraligatr, which can set up. He has the Landorus that can set up. A lot of setup mons. I don't want to really deal with a whole lot of them. I think Metagross has set up too. I really don't want to deal with them. You know, Calm Mind Shaman if he wants to do that. So my plan is to roar them out. This thing is pretty bulky on the defensive side here. You see kind of a weird EV spread. This is what the Nugget Bridge damage calc suggested, and the only reason why I ran with it was because it puts in a lot of work. It really does put in a ton of work. Nothing can really Oko this from full. As you can see, this monstrous HP stat, this Wish passing is going to be horrifying with this thing. 172 in the defense, gives it 199 defense. That paired with the HP is absolutely fine. Nothing's going to be able to Oko that from full, like I said. They're going to run Modest with a lot of special attack investment. That Scald's going to be hitting really, really, really hard. I was thinking about running Ice Beam instead of Roar, but I decided Roar ultimately would be the best move to go with in the end. And as you can see, we really don't have a lot of bulk this week because I don't know how Glasswings plays, but I'm hoping if he leads Landorus, then I lead Keck, I think I win. I really do. Because then I can just sack Keck to whatever he comes out to next, because I don't really need this, even though Sucker Punch does over half to a Metagross. But I can sack Keck to the next Pokemon, and then send in any kind of response. And I think I'll be doing just fine against the rest of his team. But yeah, that's Vaporeon here. Also with the water absorb, that's for alligator and for rotom, just so I can switch in on maybe a hydro pump, something like that. That's the hope, at least. Rotom does do quite a bit with a Thunderbolt too beforehand, because I don't have any special defense investment, but that's fine. That's fine. We can just wish up on it, because it doesn't. I don't think it does more than half, so I can just wish up on it and not really worry about it. So, last Pokemon we're bringing this week, DJ Loudnoise. Now, I'm expecting him to be a real thorn in my opponent's side. The only problem with Exploud is he is incredibly slow. I was thinking about running Tailwind instead of Toxic on Mega Altaria. Maybe I should run Tailwind to Cotton Guard. I don't know. But something to maybe help out with the slow speed on Exploud. I wasn't really too sure, but I think this is what we're going to be running. We're going to be running Specs, Scrappy, even though Scrappy doesn't really benefit me here at all because he doesn't have any ghost types. But Boom Burst, Fire Blast, Ice Beam, Focus Blast, Fire Blast 2-hit KOs, the Shaman at 2-hit KOs, the Metagross, Boom Burst just ruins lives in general. Focus Blast, Okos, the Absol, but then again, what doesn't? Yeah, this thing is just really powerful. The only two moves I can really see myself going for this match are going to be Boom Burst and Fire Blast. I am pretty bulky just because my base 104 HP gives me 411 when it's maxed out. The rest of it is in my special attack. Absolutely. This thing is going to rip. I want this thing to rip holes through my opponent's team. That's my plan, at least. What I want to do is lead Keck. If he leads Landorus, I think I win. If I play it correctly, that is. Keck's going to lead, get the Stealth Rocks up. After Stealth Rocks, the rest of my team should be able to clean house, except for Altaria. Altaria would just be my switch in until it dies, basically. That's really the hope here. I know it's kind of seems like it might be hyper offensive with one kind of mixed wall and one kind of whatever this wants to be, but after doing a bit of calcs and really looking into it for myself, this looks like, if I play it correctly, the team to actually take down the Chelseel this week. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out the battle, which will be going up tomorrow. Battle will be going up tomorrow. That's how I'm going to try to do things. Team Builder on Thursday, battle on Friday. That's how I want to do them, at least. So yeah, make sure you guys look for that. It'll be out. And wish me luck. This will be my first battle in League format ever. So, really looking to make my impression. If I lose, then, well, you know, that kind of goes out the window a little bit. But yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you take a look at the video coming out tomorrow. And I'm out.